Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review of the Revolution Pro CC Perfecting Foundation. Now I've seen this a lot over social media and I've read some really good reviews about it online, so I'm really excited to try it out. Believe it or not, I've never tried out a CC cream before. I've done my own like DIY CC cream where I've mixed my moisturizer and my foundation and just thought I was an absolute genius. From what I can see online, I think this is the first CC cream that Revolution have released. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So what do we know about the foundation? So looking on their website, it says it offers sheer to full buildable coverage, which we can test out. It contains hyaluronic acid and collagen with the infusion of antioxidants. I think it's just the one, just vitamin E, which is going to help to reduce any redness. Plus the formula will work to diffuse the appearance of wrinkles whilst offering long-lasting coverage. So the hyaluronic acid is what's going to help with reducing the appearance of wrinkles and moisturizing the skin. With regards to the collagen, that's going to help moisturize the skin, but it's not going to help induce collagen production. And that is because collagen has large molecular weights, which is too difficult for our top layer of skin to absorb. So from reading off the website, I'm expecting the foundation to be very moisturizing, not cakey, and to be lasting through the day pretty well. The foundation itself costs £10 for 26 mils, so they have 20 different shades available. They vary a little bit. I feel like some of them are a little bit similar. There's only 5 dark skin tones, which I think could be improved, but I think that's an ongoing issue everywhere with a lot of makeup brands, unfortunately. The shade I have got is F10. Now I went with F10 because I have another foundation from Revolution with this shade. To be honest, when I was looking for my correct shade online, it's very difficult to find it off the internet. I struggle so much when I'm trying to pick a shade from like the little squares or even off swatches of people on models' hands. Like I can't pick my shade. I find it a little bit easier when there's a model with a similar skin tone to me. Enough talking, let's just get in with the application. So I'm going to apply one side of my face with a brush. I'm going to do the other side with a damp beauty blender. I like the fact it has a nozzle for dispensing it. I was expecting it just to be a standard squeezy tube. The foundation is very, very thick. When I'm moving my hand, it's not moving. If I turn it upside down, it's not moving. So this is going to be very thick. Personal preference, I do like thinner foundations a little bit better, but let's just see how it applies. That's a pretty perfect match actually. So it's blending quite nicely. Actually, let me zoom you guys in, to be honest. Sorry, I should have done that before. Immediately, I feel like it has accentuated my pores a little bit. I have a bit of redness around my T-zone and I have this big hormonal lovely pimple on the chin there, so we'll see how it covers that. I think it's covered pretty well from that first layer. I would be happy with that coverage, but I'm going to go in for another layer just to see how buildable it is. I think it's covered the redness around my nose and my T-zone pretty well. I was expecting it to be really quite thick from the consistency of the foundation itself, but it actually feels nice and light on the skin. I am a little bit shiny though. I wasn't expecting it to be matte, but I'm going to do the other side and then I'm going to go with another layer of foundation. Let's see how it does on this pimple here. It'd be a Sameena B video if I didn't drop something. Okay, that is pretty good. I mean, I can still see a slight bit of redness around the spot and that little dark pigmentation there, but that is pretty nice coverage. I do think it looks a little bit ashy around my hairline and a little bit around here because I am a little bit darker there from my tan when I went on holiday a couple of months ago. In terms of coverage and application, I think both sides are pretty much the same, so I'm gonna go in with another layer of foundation just to see how buildable it is. Now, I wouldn't normally build up my foundation, I would just use concealer, but obviously I know there are people who like a little bit heavier foundations or need a bit more coverage, so I just want to see how buildable it is considering it claims to be buildable. immediately from that second layer, I feel as though it's gone a lot shinier. I feel like you can see the shininess, the light is beaming off my forehead and this area here. I'm just very, very shiny. I'm not used to being this shiny because the foundation, which I normally use on a daily basis, is the L'Oreal Fit Me, and I do not get to this levels of shiny, let me tell you. But we're gonna mattify. We're gonna use powder. That's what we have powder for. With the second layer, this chin area is pretty much fully covered. Second layer of foundation, I think it does look a little bit cakey on the skin, but it doesn't feel cakey, if that makes sense. It feels moisturizing, it feels light. It doesn't feel like I have a foundation on. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back. So I've done the rest of my makeup, and one thing I did notice while I was doing my brows was the pencil and the shadow were sort of leaking out because of how greasy the foundation was. Another thing I noticed was when I was applying my bronzer, the foundation was sitting so heavily on the skin, I was having to really buff it in, and from buffing it in I do feel like some of the foundation has come off, and I don't really want to spend like 15 minutes on like perfecting my foundation only to have it all come off when I'm putting my bronzer on. So looking at it in the natural light, it does look very cakey. I'm gonna mattify with some powder. Do it probably across the T-zone. Oh, that makes such a big difference. To the T-zone and around this area here, where I tend to get really greasy, and a little bit on my chin. Now, I powder with pretty much most foundations that I wear, and with my Fit Me one that I wear on a regular basis, I don't ever have to touch up my powder again through the day, and I use that really as a marker for most other foundations to see if it sits well on my skin, because I haven't got the time to be retouching through the day. Like, I just don't have time for it, and I can't be bothered. I'm a little bit lazy and I can't be bothered. So I feel like in the mornings I just want a powder, and for the rest of the day I don't want to really have to touch my face on a day-to-day basis. Currently 5:30, I know, a little bit late to be getting ready. We're in quarantine, so let's see with zero exertion how much this changes. I get oily from sitting inside for the whole evening. I'm gonna be pissed. So it's now 11:42 and I've had the foundation on for roughly 6 to 7 hours. I wish I was coming back to you with some good thoughts on the foundation, but they're not the best. So I didn't really do much after applying the foundation. I helped in the kitchen for a very short period of time, and then I went for a very brisk walk for maybe half an hour in the evening. I was wearing this thick cardigan. I did not break a sweat, but by the time I got home, my face had broke a sweat. I was very oily in my T-zone and my cheeks and my chin. The other thing was that the foundation doesn't sink into the skin, which gives the appearance of that cakey look, and every time you touch your face, you feel the residue of the foundation. And I know it's a CC cream, but even with moisturizers, they sink into your skin where you can't feel the tacky residue unless you're wearing like a heavy duty night cream or something. It's highlighted my pores around my cheeks a lot more, and I don't think I have big pores, to be honest. Never something that I notice when I'm wearing foundation, but I feel like I see a lot more of my pores here, and I have some acne scarring around my T-zone and a bit on my cheeks, and that again is also very, very visible. The foundation on my spot also came off. It's all very visible now. It's just red and raw. I don't think there's any foundation left on that area, to be honest with you. I don't think this foundation is made for my skin type. I do have to mention, wearing 2 layers of the foundation probably hasn't helped the look of the oiliness on my skin, but I will give it another try wearing 1 layer. If you have normal or dry skin, you will love this foundation. It does give you a dewy, glowy finish. So if you're into that look, definitely give it a try. I do have to say, if you are using this or going to give it a try, please make sure you still wear your SPF moisturizer under this, because you're not wearing enough foundation to cover you from the UV rays when you go outside. So please make sure you're still wearing your moisturizer, although it does kind of defeat the purpose, because I think people buy the foundation in what? I've literally forgotten the word, what I was going to say. In the purpose? I don't know, you guys know what I mean, that you're not going to have to wear moisturiser underneath. Like I said, I am going to give it one more try and apply only one layer. I'll probably post an update on my Instagram, so follow me here if you want to see my thoughts on it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this review was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.